We're not ready.
Solid change. I hope it's hello. We are not late. It is just the travel of technology. So hello, welcome to this month in the world of marketing. And today we're going to talk about search, social, and websites and AI and all the changes in the industries. And we're just going to have a regular old discussion. So definitely feel free to pipe in. I'm Pip, Seymour Digital Media.
My name's Phelan, also with Seymour Digital Media.
I'm Rena with Little Works Indie Media.
And I am Original 72 Greg.
Woohoo! Do it.
I needed to go backwards. I needed
I
to
like
go backwards today for some reason.
Yeah. So we're just gonna check to see if we are in fact in the group. Phelan, are we?
Let me check.
Refresher, but I didn't get any. So we were just having some real technical problems.
Yes, we are live.
So we are live, as Greg loved us saying for like 3 years. So let's get into it today. What do we want to hit on first? Search social websites. Is there really any news in websites?
Yes, there is, but we will get to that when we get closer to the AI section because it overlaps with those two. But I wanted to start with what I think is going to be one of the biggest things that's going to affect the markets, which is the courts have ruled that Google has to give up owning Chrome, and so they have to spin it off. So I think this is the first time that a tech company of recent note has been told to actually spin off part of its offerings and to make it into a separate company. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, and also what that's going to look like. You're muted.
Damn it! I'm so good and then not. The guy that made Chrome, one of the guys, Fisher something, he is also starting working for OpenAI. So maybe OpenAI is coming out with a browser. Whoa, that'd be neato. That would be a Microsoft browser, then, wouldn't it?
Well, so there is no Microsoft browser anymore technically, because the only company that has like their own browser is Apple, because Safari is its own thing. All the other ones are just are forks off of Chromium.
Chromium, yeah.
Yeah,
I
they're
love
all
Chrome though. I love my extensions.
So
Yeah.
Opera is the only one that's not based on Chromium?
Yeah. It's based on Gecko, is the JavaScript engine that it runs on, and so it's its own unique one. All three of the other major ones, Firefox, Chrome, and Edge, are all Chromium forks.
So can you not use extensions on Opera then? Or do they have their own version?
They
So
would have
what-
their own.
Yeah.
Probably.
So what happens is at the level of extensions, that's so high up the stack of how your browser works that you kind of need to make it specific to how you make calls and how you do stuff as like a Chrome extension. And so that's why there are a lot of Firefox, because they did overlap and Chrome and Firefox worked together when they did a lot of the extension program. And so that's why there's a lot of overlap there. I just don't know. I've never built one for Edge. I've never built one for Opera, so I can't speak to how they work. I just know that Chrome has the most extensive documentation for how to build an extension on their system.
Oh, Firefox must have a good one too, because they have extensions, don't they? Or
yes, I don't quote me on this, but I think that they actually work together when they develop the extension program, because to just make it as safe as possible for people, Firefox was really in there to make sure that it's like, because you could do some really mean things if you weren't very safe about a Chrome extension, like really scrape people's data and stuff like that. And so I think that Firefox helped them with making sure it's very sandboxed.
yeah,
I haven't looked or heard much about the whole Chrome needing to be split from Google. Do you have any context on the reasons why? Because typically, when you would look at a market, it's because maybe there's a monopoly on the market, which, although they have 66% of the market, there are plenty of browser options. And it's not
Mhm.
like in the old days where Microsoft, every computer had the
Came with
Microsoft
Microsoft.
operating
Yeah.
system, and by default had Edge installed, which I would see as like a true, like not conflict, but like unfair advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does Chrome, although it's very popular, have the advantage based on people selecting it because that's the one they want to use. It's not like Chrome is installed on every PC. People install it.
Yeah, so you had the right idea with vertical integration that Microsoft had, where they like own the PC, own the operating system, own the browser. So for Google, because where do they make their money? Much like how you used to buy Microsoft Office, and like that was how they made their money. Google makes their money off of selling ads. And so if they control the browser, they control the ad networks, they control all the ads, they control Google Analytics that's installed on 70% of websites, right? That's a whole vertical integration of absorbing people's data. So that if the Chrome browser has a lot of browser history that's involved, and so if they can spin that off, and that's like a major source of how they know stuff about you, because you have to be 9 times out of 10, most people are logged in with a Gmail account or something like that when they browse the internet. Well, that's absorbing all that extra information that Chrome is gathering from where you go to visit websites. How
So
long
they
do you
just
spend on
want to
websites?
spread who owns and knows the information out.
Yeah, because the Chrome data is by Google admitted it once, had to admit it once that that was one of their major sources of data, right? Because it's so personalized that they can go through and see which websites you're visiting. Whereas if you're just logged in, they're not necessarily going to get that information, because if Chrome's like a separate company, it doesn't have to tell you Chrome. It doesn't have to tell your Google login who you like what websites you're visiting, right?
Hmm.
And so because that's a lot of information to be put into like in market retargeting, there's a lot of stuff in there that I think that they've admitted it's quite personalized, and they've also had to because again the working with Firefox, they've had to like, yeah, we could see a lot of information about users and what they're doing when they go and visit the internet, which makes a lot, it's very valuable for making advertisements to people later on.
It's not a good time for
So
them.
I wonder, well, finally. So,
Mm.
I wonder. I always find it really, because I was actually watching this really interesting conversation yesterday where someone was talking about how Blue Sky has different privacy policy than Meta in terms of from a creator perspective, where you don't own you. It's not really that Meta owns your artwork, but they can use it in advertising Meta. That's generally what they're, and
Yeah.
they can also use it to train their AI. But what I found really amusing, not amusing, like not to be rude, but I find it really ironic or problematic or whatever it is, because we've got Google, everybody's using Gmail accounts. All the people that are on this conversation, I know for a fact, are using Gmail accounts, and they're like getting really particular about going to Blue Sky instead of like all the other, this conversation was happening on Meta. So, and I know that they're active on Meta, active on Instagram, active on LinkedIn, and then it's like they're moving, their
What is
X
Blue
to,
Sky?
pardon me?
Uh,
Blue
What
Sky
is
is a
Blue Sky?
Twitter competitor or an ex competitor.
Oh.
And so, and it's been ramped up. I don't know this. Oh, this is a really great segue to like,
yeah.
Social move.
so they
Yeah.
so recently Blue Sky has been I'm not entirely sure exactly why, but since the election, everybody's fleeing X and moving to Blue Sky. It's gaining the most users daily, and has been an issue. Mark Zuckerberg has been looking at how he can reorganize Threads in response to this move, and I'm not sure what Musk is doing in terms of X, but it's like by the tens of thousands of people moving on a daily
Oh
basis.
wow.
So it's quite huge. And I don't know if you've noticed people posting their handles on Meta, but I've seen quite a few people doing that lately. Um,
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's one piece of social news that happened this
That's,
this month, and I do have a few more if we want to go into those,
yeah,
or I
let's
don't
go into
know.
those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
So basically, we've got a few things that I find really interesting, uh, like surprising and fun. When I say interesting, so Australia has been pushing forward new legislation that will ban users under the age of 16 from using social media apps.
It's a big
So
topic.
I think that the age of consent, or the age of on the terms of services on Meta is like I think it's 14 in Canada, and I'm pretty sure you can easily get around that rule. So this is obviously going to be there's also going to be enforcement issues that come up with this change. It'll be interesting to see how they organize this. I will put some links in the comments below so that people can actually read the legislation, and listen to some information on it. I think this is a really interesting model as we continue to deal with kids being taken advantage of online, especially the online bullying and the pedophiles, the pedophiles targeting children.
I
So
think
those are the, like, teenagers with I
there's
forgot what that guy's
also
name was.
other
Pardon?
things. There's also other
Totally.
things now
Oh,
that are
totally.
coming up with teaching each other how to look
Yeah.
for AI, right? Like this is a new
Yeah.
language we have to speak. Like, let's point out
Yeah.
the AI online and how we can tell. It's going to be
Yeah,
Yeah.
really
yeah,
important.
exactly. So this is going to help parents have tools and things like that. So I find that really intriguing because I think I grew up without really television, and I thought that was a really great thing in the end. um, LinkedIn is going to be having an open to volunteer feature, which is kind of fun. So it's
Oh,
sort of trying to move away. I think it's trying to like broaden its scope from just being a job finding space to actually being a community. That's pretty interesting.
that is
Um,
interesting.
yeah, and volunteering is such a great way to give back to the community and also show what your values are as a business person. I think
There's,
that's
yeah.
relevant.
I,
Yeah,
I think it's a great way to actually, in the end, find employment. It's in the
yeah,
end create community. I think, yeah,
yeah,
there needs to be more of it. And I think now that the holidays are coming, we're all thinking of that kind of stuff.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Ads are coming to Threads. That's sort of been rumored,
There's
mostly confirmed by one Meta user, sort of Meta employee. So that might be coming through. That sounds like an interesting thing. Again, revving up Threads as a competitor to Blue
have you
Sky.
who's on
And
Threads
I'm
here?
not. Well, I have an account, I think, and I actually
Yeah,
get.
almost everybody who had a Instagram account is probably on Threads, but Threads does not have the daily active user base like other
Sorry.
platforms.
Maybe
Okay.
not, but it does. It must have a few because I'm continually getting notifications on Instagram for threads. Uh, what do you call them? Tweets? What do we
Oh
call
yeah,
them?
what do you call them?
I
Threads.
don't
I
know.
like the
Oh
Threads thing.
yeah.
I
Threads?
like the
Okay,
name.
okay. And then the next thing that I
What do you
have
call
is
blue
that.
sky? Skies and blues?
Well, that's it. I have no idea. I
Blues?
still call them all tweets. Call me old fashioned. Um.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
almost like calling your rebranding your website after it had the best branding possibly for the
I
internet.
know.
It's kind of a
Well,
stupid
Blue
idea.
Sky's
I know.
little icon is a butterfly, so maybe we'll call them flutters.
Ooh, that's cute.
But
Flutter. Okay, that's
I
kind of
sent a flutter today.
Oh,
it's so or a yeah, I don't know.
I'm
Um,
fluttering all the time.
yeah,
also, yeah, yeah.
Instagram is
well,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry.
You go.
Instagram is getting rid of ghost followers, so you can go ahead and they're phasing out following hashtags. So the ghost
That's
followers are
big.
deactivated accounts, so you can actually go view that. I've done that myself and remove those. It also gives you the option to remove well, they call them not deactivated accounts, but they call them well, I think they call them bots actually. I forgot what the actual language is when I went on there, and I removed I just hit the remove all, and it actually removed almost 1,000 followers, which is just distracting. But at the same time, I'm getting better engagement now, so maybe that's for the best.
I think that is
And
for the best in the long run.
and I think that was everything that I had for social this week, this month.
I heard there's some weird stuff about stickers and Instagram, but I don't understand.
Oh, stickers on YouTube, you mean? I think there's
No,
new
stickers on Instagram.
Well, there's
some
always been
sort of
stickers.
Oh yeah, in
Yeah.
the messaging feature.
Oh, I don't know about the messaging feature. Yeah, let me take a look because let me take a look. I don't. But yes, the stickers on shorts are definitely on YouTube are available. That's news.
That is new. There's also the my favorite thing that happened this month, which is that YouTube's come out with the ability to change your language, so I can be in Spanish or maybe Portuguese.
That's
You
great.
know, I think that's so neat. Well, so
No, it is
so
great.
international marketing or international SEO will become bigger.
Yeah.
So that's neat, right? Because I think Neil Patel once said, you know, the best way to get ahead with like SEO was to do international marketing. I mean, it's just automatic on YouTube, so I think that's cool.
Oh, where's the context for that? When did he say that? I'd like to know more about that.
Oh my gosh, that was a long
yeah,
time
it's
ago.
a long time ago. I would also say that one other thing that was interesting is like Mr.
find it,
Beast is a huge YouTuber, and he has like up to like 32 channels. And what he does is he takes the content and then he redubs it in other languages, and then
Oh, interesting. I see.
yeah, so
He's in
yeah.
a lot of hot water, though, isn't he?
And then
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, between the moldy food that he's sending people and the crypto scams that he's. Oh, you guys haven't been following the Mr. Beast snackables? Yes, he and KS1 and Logan Paul have been sending kids all around the United States moldy Lunchable food. Because they thought they were gonna like have their like branded snack food and send it out to people, but it turns out they didn't get a very good vendor, and so people were just being sent these like moldy food. And
brand fail. Talk about a brand fail.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll turn into something good.
I thought he seemed to be in hot water for something else, also, like with
harassment,
with an employee who got let go and then spilled some tea or something. I don't know what goes on.
So Rita's already said the word, so I'm not going to repeat it because he could get in trouble with these automatic detectors. But yes, one of his employees has been is charged with being a PDF file. And so yes, and so they had him as an employee, and so yes, that is another thing.
Did they know anything? And okay, I mean, this is like
it's all plausible deniability. Like Mr. Beast has got it off. Like there's enough layers removed where he could say I didn't know, and so it's just that there's. He's in hot water for crypto stuff, for hiring that guy, for having food that he sends out that hurts people.
Bad go.
Yeah, he's kind of done a lot of like trying to grow outwards from just doing YouTube stuff, and it's not working out. Like there's a lot of growth.
Not working out.
That's putting it mildly. But you know, I mean, we see all sorts of things changing. We see the rise of influencers and the fall of celebrities a little bit here and there. We'll see what happens over Christmas. We've seen a lot of, you know, different trends happening because of social media. I think because of the democratization of it all. Maybe, I don't know. You all called me. What did you call me before? I'm optimist.
Techno optimist.
Yeah. So, yeah, as I'm thinking, like, do I think AI is going to save the world? Possibly, but maybe it's because one of my clients' names is related to a name from like the Terminator, and that's why I have such optimism, because I've just, you know,
famously tech optimist movie, the Terminator.
They win, don't they win?
After going through a dystopia where they have to go back in time to win. Like, that's not, the point of the movie is it didn't turn out good. Like,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the whole point.
Well, I think there's plus and negatives to everything, and I just think what's going on is absolutely fascinating. With all the things that we can do, we can try, right? With how we can train other people, how we can train systems to be like people. I mean, and yeah, so I think it's going to change a lot of things in the future. AI is seeping, I don't know what it's specifically seeping into. I know more people are using it for writing, right? That's the biggest thing I've seen AI being used for. Now images, but the images are
Uh,
still hard to
well,
do.
so the biggest user of ChatGPT is a prompt based book writing website. So you give it prompts, and then based on the number of upvotes it gets, will generate a book based off of that.
What's this
Uh,
website?
I forget the name. I have to go find it again. I'll put it in the chat. But it has truly some of the most deranged content I've seen from the internet. I think I told you guys that it was the three werewolf mafia brothers that fall in love with their best friend of their sister, and that was the prompt, and it generated apparently a whole book off of that. And so yeah,
Oh,
that's
yay. So the books aren't going to be great.
no. And
mean, if
the
you love
other,
fiction, maybe.
Mm.
it'll be interesting. It's it may not be good, but it'll be interesting.
Are they allowed to scrape like content from fan fiction places and stuff?
Uh, well, I mean, I would rephrase the question as like, so are they allowed to scrape? Like anyone's allowed to scrape anything if you have it publicly available on the internet. It's are you allowed to use that data in the course of doing something else? And the answer is probably not. But the courts are going to figure that out.
Yeah. So as I know, I'm the optimist, and I know you all think I'm too optimistic about the tech stuff because I've heard of the snake that is eating its tail. What is that?
Or
Sissa
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros, or it's a Sisyphean task, like kind of like your dishwasher. You still have tons of dishes if you have a dishwasher. I mean, it is helpful, but it doesn't necessarily save time in the long run. I've done SEO tasks now that I mean they're better. I think you can do better with the AI. That's all. I've been doing better with my SEO tasks with a little bit of help, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I do alt tags now, like full on, and like alt tag image names. So I just AI is transforming. I mean, I've played with that picture one. We can share a lot of the stuff we've been going over, but I don't know if anybody is anyone here or anyone out there integrating it into their social or their search or
Yeah.
no, yeah. Yeah, because I'm using it every day. It's changing what I'm doing. Hey, Greg, are you using ChatGPT every day?
I wouldn't say every day, but I do use it weekly.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm kind of leaving Google search a little. Anybody else?
Yeah, I know we
Uh,
had this
For
discussion in
certain.
the prep, and I was to the view of no, I still prefer going to a
To
search
Google.
engine and searching for what I'm looking for, and I consider the AI to be more um, research and development related, not I'm looking for, something.
Well, I
Mm,
find it the opposite.
Especially not like I'm not going to go to an AI and be like, and uh, although maybe people will in the near future because it could be better than what you get from search is like searching for restaurants or searching for businesses in that area. I still prefer Google and getting local businesses in the area as opposed to just being fed what the AI feels is the best
mm.
couple of places in my area. Like I want all of the
You want
results.
choice? Yeah. Okay,
So
I get that.
the results, I mean, I never go past the first page on results anyway, so it doesn't really make much difference unless I'm not getting, unless my search is putting up a whole bunch of like websites that I'm not I don't know or I'm not interested in knowing from them. But I do the opposite. I look at when I want real research, I use the search engines like when I'm researching for stuff. What I want when I use ChatGPT, it's usually to get a sense of what's happening in an industry that I don't know much about. So I'll go in and ask what are best practices for this, or how does this industry handle this question, and then it gives me the general overview, and then I can go and make proper searches in the search engine because I didn't know to start with what I should be putting into Google to get the answers that I'm looking for. So it helps me to develop those really crystal clear search queries.
That's interesting, right? Because it is there. I read that 38% of searches are now longer form, so more. So I need to start focusing on things like voice search because that's how we're interacting with the machines now. So longer tail keywords versus short
You're gonna
tail.
have to put a noun and a verb in them.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. Aren't I lucky? But it's important, right? So I just I think it's going to change a lot, but we're not seeing it change much in the way of websites yet. Or I mean, I don't know who's using ChatGPT to make all their social posts, but I'm sure lots of people. Um, so I'm not sure, but I don't know. It's quite exciting. We are out of time. I wanted to bring up. Oh, what?
I just wanted to say one quick thing as related to websites and AI is that the web standards released a new HTML meta tag that says is allowed to be scraped for AI, is not allowed to be scraped for AI.
Oh yeah.
So
Right.
that'll be interesting for people to give them like we all kind of
Choice.
figured this tool was going to be given out at some point. It's just I just don't know how much they're going to respect it. That's one
Yeah.
thing that we don't know.
Yeah,
I don't have a
Can
lot
they
of faith.
force it? I've been to websites where you can't copy the words on the page. Like you literally can't. You try, and so I mean,
It's
could
a,
they?
but that's a JavaScript thing, like, and you can get
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
JavaScript, right? Like, you
Okay.
just have to
yeah.
view the source, and even if you remove the ability to right click and say view source, there's still you can still view. Like, there's no way
If it's
of
public
limiting.
and it's HTML and it renders on someone else's client, meaning like their browser, there's no way you can prevent them from scraping it. Like that's just nigh impossible because once it renders on someone else's computer, then they can copy it. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
that's kind of the biggest issue you're going to have.
So yeah, I mean, but this is why Google never was able to scan all the books because of copyright, right? So I mean, is this gonna change with a little tag that says not allowed? You know,
Oh,
okay.
if I have anything to say about it, well,
That's true. Mickey will make sure. Right? So
yeah.
Disney's got their Disney's got a big thing. Who owns 007?
Jeff Bezos.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I
Like,
know, yeah.
like
Oh,
the
James Bond.
brand, the brand.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. It's owned by Jeff Bezos.
Okay, just because like they enforce their copyright, right?
No,
And
they
so
can't enforce copyright. Books over 100 years old.
I don't
Yeah,
know. There's new ones all the time, so maybe
but
because
well,
there was a restaurant in Vancouver that actually we have to go, but there anyway. So it's a neither here nor there topic. We do have to go, but we have some.
Listen to the rest.
yeah,
Yeah, come to Happy Hour Friday. Rena will be hosting, and we will talk about 007 and rules
and Steamboat
copyright.
Willie.
And the next 2 weeks, so we only have 2 more weeks of Geek Speak for the year, and we are gonna do the new header will be up momentarily, and we're gonna do our year in review, and so we're all gonna do that together. So you might see more of us in the next couple weeks.
and next week is going to be Rena and Phelan doing a planning for their year,
All right.
planning
Yeah.
for the following year, and then after that we'll do our marketing year in review.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I'll be in the comments of your You're live because I might have to do my planning still. And I think that's one of Rena's first questions. Why haven't you done this sooner?
No, it's not judgy. It's not judgmental. It's just about trying to get yourself organized and through the hump so that
Speak for yourself. I'm going to be super judgmental.
you're going to be super judgy. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
he hasn't
You're
done
gonna
it.
be good cop. I get to be
haven't
good
done it.
cop this time. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
All
We'll
right.
see y'all
See you
next
next
time. Okay. Bye.